Hi, welcome to another video from Information First. This video is going to focus on the recent changes to the web client with the release of Content Manager 24.4. We're going to look at two of the three big changes. The first is a new in-view filter that can be applied to your search results. It's based on the columns that are on display, which leads to the second big feature, the ability to customize your column layout. The third improvement has to do with the ability to check out to Google Drive. That improves collaboration and is also available in the desktop client. It's so big, it's going to get its own video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow to be notified when that video comes out. All right, let's get started. Okay, so here I am at the landing page for the web client. I'll start by performing an all search to get all the records I have. When the results return, you can see there are about 1,200 records. In the toolbar, there are a few new icons. The first four are the same, as well as this sixth one. The new one is the filter button here, and at the end, the view button. Looking at the filter button first, when I click it, a new panel is displayed. It is a filter panel with a variety of filter options. These filter options are essentially the supported columns that are on display. Note, at this time, some columns or metadata are not available to be a filter, but that could change in a future release. Let's assume that I want to isolate my folder record types. I'll click the record type to expand, and I'll start to type the word folder. A list of choices is displayed, and I'll click one to select it. Repeat to add additional record types, folder, select. When ready, click the filter button to apply. The website will reload with the filters applied, and we can see that only the selected record type records are on display. Note the search query has been updated to include a filter by record type. The advantage of having this filter icon is you can apply a filter again and again each time you do a search. For example, let's assume now I want to isolate records owned by the legal department. I'll click the filter button, look for the owner option, and then search for legal, select it, and apply the filter again. It's that easy. Now, just to remind you, the old way of filtering is still here. You can click on the Refine Search button, then Edit Modify your search. This opens up the full search editor with the same filtering options across the top, such as filter and record type. I'll just cancel this edit. Okay, let's move on to the second improvement in the web client. With this version comes the ability to customize your columns. Remember, the filter button just shown was based on the columns on display. Right now, I'm viewing my default desktop layout. This is the one view that is synchronized with my desktop client, so that changes made here in the web client will be reflected on the desktop client, and vice versa. With Content Manager 24.4, I can now create additional column layouts. I'll click the drop-down, and here's a layout I made earlier called Destruction Mode. I'll use this column layout when I'm disposing records. On this view, I've brought out retention-related metadata such as date due for destruction, home, owner, and current location, even disposition. All the metadata that would be useful when disposing my records. Let's create a new column layout for electronic records. I'll start with a search for all records that are electronic. When the results appear, I'll click on the View drop-down and then click the Configure Views button. That will open a new window that is very similar to the Custom Property view in both the desktop and web client, where there are metadata fields on the left and those that are in use on the right. However, there is a new panel on the far left where I can create and name a view. I'll click the View button and call it Electronic Records. Then I'll click the disk icon to save it. Once created, I'll click it to select it, and then I'm able to customize what I want it to show. I'll start by clearing all the existing properties. I'll click each to highlight, and then click the left-facing arrow. Now, with no column selected, I'll start to add the ones that are important for electronic records. We'll start with title, extension. File size is also useful. Maybe document details. And let's finish with author. Once the fields are on display, I can put them in the order that I like, and when ready, click OK to apply and save the changes. You'll return to the web client with the new view in effect. Now that we have the new view, let's look at those filters. Clicking on the filter button, the choices are different. I can now isolate by extension, size, or author. Let me demonstrate a filter by file extension. I will search for PowerPoint files or PPT. Next, I will filter by file size. First, I'll clear out the extension search, and then I'll enter a size range from 100 to 1000. And finally, I'll search for all records authored by me. I'll remove the size filter, and yes, I could have simply clicked the Reset All button, and then I'll search for myself as an author. Before I conclude this section, let's take a closer look at some of the things you can do with your views. I'll click on the View dropdown. With the views on display, simply click the three buttons on the right to access their menu. Once displayed, you can mark it as a favorite by clicking the star, you could duplicate a view, or you can replace the default Content Manager desktop view. Of course, you can always delete a view. Let me mark my destruction as a favorite by clicking the star. Returning to the web client, clicking on the view, you can see destruction is now a favorite and the electronic records is just down in the other section. Okay, and that brings us to the end of this video. This video showcased the new filter option in the web client, as well as the ability to create and save custom column views. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel to be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching.